Hey everybody, today I'm going to show you how to do a silhouette painting. Here we have all of my supplies, and I'll show you one by one what they are. First off, today I'm going to be painting this. It's from Hobby Lobby. It's just a little wood plank. I went ahead and taped the edges because I didn't want to get paint under this stuff. So let's prop that up. I'm going to show you my paint. I use, of course, black for the shadows, true blue, Indian turquoise, royal fuchsia, plain white, and sometimes I use true red. And the red is just when I write my name, or I like writing my initials. And the brushes I use this here. It's just a cheap brush, 1-inch brush. You can use any kind of brush. I use this one for doing the background. I like doing sunsets with it. This one's going to be more of a nighttime picture. I like using this little tiny brush here. It's pretty small, but it's flat and it's skinny. I use it for making trees. And I use this fan brush. I use it for making trees. This is a smaller fan brush. They have a bunch of different sizes of them, but I like this little small one for small trees. I also have a toothbrush. You're probably wondering, what is this toothbrush going to be used for? Well, I'll show you in just a minute. Alright, now that I've showed you everything I use, let's get started. It's also good to have some sort of palette. When you're doing these, you don't really have to have a lot, so I'll just use this little palette here. It just looks like a flower of some sort. Let's start. I like starting with true blue. Get it on the brush good. Always make sure you find the top of what you're painting. So I just spread it on. Just like this. Make sure I can get it up in the corners best I can. And they don't have to be perfect. And if your palette doesn't work out for you, you can get rid of it and just squirt it onto your canvas, which is probably what I'll end up doing. Next, I will use the Indian turquoise. With the same brush, I just start spreading it around and I blend it. Sometimes if you want a little more color, you can put a little bit more color on it. Just spread it all around, make it blend real nice. And then next, I use the Royal Fuchsia. Now blend it. Let's take some more of the turquoise. Put a dab there and maybe a little bit there. Just want to blend it together. But not make a uniform solid color. Just let's do just a little more, one little drop of the fuchsia. Let's go ahead and put a little more dark blue up here. That was more than I was expecting, but it'll be all right. Come on. One little drip is all I need. Right there. Okay. Now that that's done, so far this is what we've got. Let's take our white. Just plain white. Take the lid off. There's the lid. Now this is where we use the toothbrush. There's the toothbrush. You just want to dab the tip of that toothbrush in there. Make sure you get some paint on it. Now you've got paint on the toothbrush. And you just take your thumb, put on the toothbrush, and give it some splatters. Just run your thumb all through the toothbrush. You can do as much little splatters as you want. And that creates a little star look on your painting. Do as much as you want or the least as you want. It's fun to do. Okay, I think that's all we're going to do on that one. And here's what it looks like so far. Now we take the black. You know, actually I'm going to get one more paintbrush. Let's see. It's another little tiny paintbrush. See if I can get it to focus on it. There it is. Nothing special about this paintbrush, just a little flat paintbrush. There's the lid. There's paint inside it. and get this to stand up. Okay. So all this extra white that hasn't been covered, we're going to cover it with the black. And the reason you do the little splatters first is because you don't want to paint the black and then have little white splatters in the black. So do those first and you won't have them in the black. Of course, that doesn't have to be perfect. You can make this however you want. I like to go on the edge. Make some hills, maybe on the sides here. Sometimes you have to go back over it with a second coat. We'll let that dry and then we'll work on the trees. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start working on the trees. So you get some paint on your brush. You just go up a little ways, however high you want. Maybe make some small ones. And I know it doesn't look like much, it's just like drawing some lines. But the fan brush is what really makes the trees stand out. There, the black. So you just want to barely dab the fan brush in the black paint. That way it has just a little bit of black on it. Then you start at the top. Start with this one and you dab it, going in a zigzag like that. Get a little more paint on it. Just want it on the tip of the bristles. So we'll start at the top here. Go in a little zigzag. Let's get a little more paint. We'll put a little more on it this time. And then brush it off. That way you get the extra off. Start at the top. And each time you go out, get a little farther out. You can always go back and fill in a few gaps. And then you can also take the tip and touch the top of the tree with it and give it sort of a point. Write your name or initials or whatever you would like to write. Make sure you always sign your paintings and any of your art. If you was ever to sell it, nobody would know who it is. Alright, since we're done, it's time to peel the tape off. There's the finished product. And there it is. Now, if I sell it, whoever buys it can hang it up and have a nice picture painted by me. So, let's set that down. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like. Please comment. Tell me what you thought of my painting. I plan on having a few more painting videos. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to my channel, Adventures with Kevin, and hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date on other videos that I put out. But until next time, happy adventuring. And thank you for watching Adventures with Kevin. See ya!